So I'm going to do 4 different formulas of a matte blurry lipstick, like that blotted lip look from 4 different companies. Some are drugstores, some are expensive. So I've got, the first one that I have here is the NYX Smushy Matte Lip Balm. And this is in shade SMB05 Snuggle Season, or SZN. I think that's season. It's the same color as the tube. So each tube is a unique color, and it's got one of those lip applicators like all of the squeezy tube lip balms have, but this is matte. So this formula is very silicone-y. It feels like powder in silicone. So it doesn't really set down. It is a balm. You can tell with it coming from a tube that it isn't a lipstick. So it actually feels very soft on the lips, and is very blurring. But there you can see it. All right. The Violette FR, which I think is France. So Violette FR Bisou Balm, and this is in shade Betise. This being in a stick is way less messy, but it is a very similar feel to the NYX. It is far pinker. This also does not set down. Next, I've got the Givenchy Rouge Sheer Velvet, and it's shade 17. All of their shades are just numbered. It is kind of a bricky red color. But because it's a sheer velvet, the pigment is less than all of these are that like new school matte, in that they are a very powdery finish, but they don't feel super dry on the lips. It doesn't feel moisturized, but it doesn't feel dry. Okay, and then the last formula I have is the Maybelline Superstay Teddy Tint. And it is in shade 105, Velvet Choker. It also, they've colored the packaging to match the color of the lip product, and it's a traditional doe foot. So it looks a little bit like it would be a lipstick, but it's actually goes on like a gloss. This definitely has a scent to it. So like the other formulas, it's very blurring, has a matte look to it, but because it is a gloss, it doesn't feel crusty or dry on the lips. This does kind of lock in and will last much longer than the first two. The Givenchy also lasts a long time if you don't just wipe it off like I'm doing today. But And neither of these are going to like just dry out your lips, but they're also not going to add any moisture. So if you're a person that has dry lips, you're probably going to want to put a gloss on top, or in between putting it on, put a gloss on. Because I feel like it doesn't dry my lips, but it doesn't help them not be dry either. This shade is it's like a subdued berry. And there you can see it next to the other three. So 4 different versions of a very similar result.